Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to the video. I hope everybody's day is going great. Today we have a really fun video. We're going to start off talking about the Dallas Fuel. So we're going to see how far could they have gone if they actually made the playoffs. Obviously, they were one of the worst teams in all of Overwatch League, but near the end of the season in Stage 4, they were one of the best, and they took historically the best team so far in the Overwatch League to Game 5 in Stage 4 playoffs. So I figured this would be a really fun topic to talk about and see how far they could have gone. And then in the second half of this video, guys, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about Necros. So there's been some videos posted trying to prove that he isn't cheating. There's also been some clips of Jane saying that he isn't cheating, stuff like that. I'm going to react and give my response to all of those. Also, I'm going to be dropping a Realm Royale video probably later tonight, maybe early morning tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. If you're new around here, drop a like on this video, subscribe to my channel for more daily Overwatch content, and let's go ahead and hop into it. Alright, so as I already mentioned, the Dallas Fuel, they had a terrible season all the way up till Stage 4, where they miraculously turned it around. And they didn't just turn their season around, they were popping off, guys. Let's start this off by going over all their matches and results from Stage 4. Starting off with Week 1, they defeated the Shanghai Dragons 3-1, but did drop to the LA Gladiators 0-4. And the next week is really where they picked up steam, though, with a 3-0 victory over Boston Uprising, who sure, they were struggling that stage, especially early on, but they were also just off of like a 14 win streak. Then after that, they beat the Philadelphia Fusion 3-1. Another playoff team. That's 2 in a row. Then moving on to Week 3, the Dallas Fuel, they did fall to the San Francisco Shock. And to be fair, San Francisco Shock also beat Boston Uprising and got some wins off some other good teams. They're very improved. And then in their second match, the Dallas Fuel, which was really impressive to me, beat the London Spitfire. And the reason why this is so impressive to me is not just because, yeah, London Spitfire, they are good, maybe they're struggling a little bit, but the fashion that Dallas Fuel beat down on the London Spitfire was incredible. They destroyed them. Then moving on to Week 4, the Dallas Fuel beat the Florida Mayhem convincingly 4-0, and then did drop to the Houston Outlaws 3-1. This was definitely one of their worst performances in this stage, and then in their next matchup, they went up against Seoul Dynasty and lost this one as well, 3-1. So back-to-back bad performances from them, and I honestly didn't think they stood a chance going up against the Los Angeles Valiant in the next match, because obviously Los Angeles Valiant were sitting at 9-0, going for that 10-0. But the Dallas Fuel were able to stop the Los Angeles Valiant 3-1. And this was a big match for the Dallas Fuel. They needed to win this to keep themselves alive for the playoff race. And they did just that. So it was a clutch performance from them. So this proves that they are able to show up in huge matches where everything is on the line. Moving into the playoffs, that would mean a lot. So we're going to talk about this match later more. And then, of course, in the actual Stage 4 playoffs, they did lose in the first round 2-3 against the New York Excelsior in an extremely close set that they could have taken. Just a couple less mistakes and it would have been theirs. And we definitely got to remember, guys, New York Excelsior, they are a powerhouse. I know they lost the Stage 4 playoffs, but historically, they've been one of the best teams overall, and maybe LA Valiant, they just had a better day. My point is that the Dallas Fuel showed up here against the best team all time, which again shows that they are clutch and they will be there when it comes playoff time and have good performances. And that is the complete recap on their whole entire Stage 4 run. They had some really good matches, and obviously they had a couple bad ones, but the main thing is it was way better than any other performance they put up this entire season, and going into the playoffs could definitely help them. The reason I went over all of that is because it's very important to consider all of those matches when we're talking about how far could the Dallas Fuel have gone. Now let's look at the playoff bracket. In the quarterfinals, we have the Philadelphia Fusion, who are the 6th seed, going up against the 3rd seed Boston Uprising. Then in the second quarterfinal, it's the London Spitfire 5 seed going up against the 4th seed Los Angeles Gladiators. I think it's fair to say if Dallas Fuel did end up making the playoffs, they probably would have been the 6th seed. So we'll just go ahead and put them in that position. So they would be going up against the Boston Uprising in the first round. The last time they played was in Week 2, Stage 4. Dallas Fuel did get that win 3-0. Obviously, the Boston Uprising did end up improving by the end of Stage 4, but it wasn't by too much. I'd say they were still stuck down there kind of figuring out what they need to do to improve. I think a big reason why they didn't have that great of performance was because they did lose Krusty, their head coach, but they're also a very slow team to start new metas. They take forever to adapt. They did this in multiple stages where they started off very slow, and then by the end of the stage, they were way better than they were at the start. They did it in Stage 4, even though they still weren't that great at the end. They did improve. Going into these playoffs, though, we are moving on to a new meta. The only different thing is between stages, there is more time for the Boston Uprising to prepare now. But on the other hand, there also isn't matches for them to play every single week that will also help them improve. So they're not going to have that opportunity. They will have to learn in scrims, which again aren't as effective as matches. And for the Dallas Fuel, I don't think the meta changes too much for them. And if it does, it changes for the better. There's going to be more tanks, more Brigitte, more D.Va, more Zarya, more Hanzo. And those are the things that Dallas Fuel have been really good with. So I think going into this meta, they would be strong and they would definitely beat the Boston Uprising in this first round. I'm not exactly sure which maps they would be playing for sure, but the Boston Uprising on all of the maps overall seemed pretty decent. But just that, decent. They're not amazing. They don't have a crazy win record. Overall, they were sitting around 59%. And let's be honest, a huge boost to that percentage comes straight from Volskaya, where they are 9-0-1 so far in the Overwatch League. And also, for the rest of the maps, most of their wins do come from Stage 3. In Stage 4, they struggled on all of the maps that are in this playoff map pool. So I would say every map for the Boston Uprising is definitely a 50-50, and that's without looking at who their opponent is. So they're probably going to struggle here in the playoffs, especially that combined with the fact that they are slow to start new metas. They won't have any matches to prepare for this. It's going to be a long road. And to be honest, for the Dallas Fuel, a lot of the maps from Stage 4 were in the overall playoffs. So Dallas Fuel would definitely be very comfortable when it comes to the maps. And then if we want to start talking about coaching staffs again, it seems like Boston Uprising, ever since they lost their head coach, the team has kind of gone downhill. For the Dallas Fuel, ever since they got their new head coach, things have gone up by far. And it seems like the preparation from Aero is amazing. And the matches that they won convincingly, and they look like they were ready for whatever the other team was going to throw at them. And again, moving into this meta, very good playstyle for the Dallas Fuel. I think Aero will have them very prepared. So I definitely do think Dallas Fuel would beat the Boston Uprising, and they would move on to the semifinals, facing off against the Los Angeles Valiant, who just came off of an impressive win over not only the Gladiators, but the Excelsior in the Stage 4 playoffs. And they also had a really nice 9-1 record in Stage 4. But that one loss in Stage 4 was to the Dallas Fuel. Sure, you can say, well, LA Valiant beat New York Excelsior, who beat the Dallas Fuel. And this was in the playoffs. So that means the Los Angeles Valiant would definitely beat the Dallas Fuel, right? Well, I wouldn't say that necessarily, because Dallas Fuel did get that win. And trust me, that match for the LA Valiant was definitely a playoff level match. They wanted to go 10-0. There's no way in hell they didn't put everything into that match to try to finish with that huge 10-0. So I think Dallas Fuel beat them in an extremely high competitive environment with massive pressure on both of the teams. Dallas Fuel, again, they needed to win this to move on to the playoffs. LA Valiant, they wanted that 10-0. The pressure and competitive environment was insane. It was basically a playoff match. This one really is a toss-up, and I feel like both these teams, if you had them play 10 best-of-5s, it would be 5-5 split at the end of the day. They're extremely close, and the maps both favor them. A lot of this match would also be determined by the coaches and how they prepare their teams. And, I mean, the thing is, both teams have been preparing very well throughout this entire stage. The LA Valiant for the New York Excelsior and LA Gladiators in the playoffs looked so prepared. Their performances on Dorado prove that. First holds back-to-back against the best teams in the world. That's insane. But the Dallas Fuel also, with Aero coming in, they have been very prepared in their matches as well, especially in their match against the LA Valiant. So I think this would be one hell of a semifinal. Both teams would win a best-of-5, and that third one would decide it. And I do think the Dallas Fuel could do it and move on to the finals, which would be absolutely insane. From the worst team to one of the best in the finals. Wow, that would have been crazy. I kind of do wish Dallas made the playoffs over a team like Philly or Boston, who I think might flop in the overall playoffs. Even London, who I think London's definitely going to either lose to the Gladiators, or if they somehow make it past the Gladiators, they would go up against New York and lose. So it's going to be a New York Excelsior and Dallas Fuel world final in this universe, where the Dallas Fuel do end up making the playoffs. And I think this would be an absolute battle. The Dallas Fuel have proved, even when they were the worst team in Stage 2, they went up against the New York Excelsior and lost 2-3. Then in the playoffs, they did it again. So you never know, they could pick up a best-of-5. Obviously, though, New York, they've proved time after time they are the best team ever, and they are more than likely going to win the overall Season 1. But Dallas Fuel, again, they have a chance, guys. They could pull off an upset, but I would go with the New York Excelsior in this matchup. I think they just have their number. Their coaching staff, when you talk about preparation, is the absolute best in the Overwatch League. No team has been as prepared as the New York Excelsior in all of their matches. So it would have been an amazing run for the Dallas Fuel all the way to the finals, but that's where they would be stopped. And that's it for this part of the video, guys. Let me know down below, do you think the Dallas Fuel could make it all the way to the finals, or do you think they would have lost in the first round? Also, be sure to drop a like on this video, and let's go ahead and move on and start talking about Necros again. Or should I say, I guess, reacting to some things that have been made or said over the past day about him cheating. Alright guys, so somebody by the name of Ryu Chimonji Genji Main made a YouTube video called Necros is not scripting. If this video doesn't convince you, nothing will. Responding to King Michael. So I guess I'm going to watch this and respond back to him or you guys or whatever. I haven't seen the video yet, but let's go ahead and hop into it.
I did not really expect to make this video, but I see a lot of hate towards Necros after the drama that happened, and I want to clarify things and maybe convince you that he's not hacking. So
maybe
let's start this video. Okay, so for all of those guys who don't really know what I'm talking about and what drama I'm actually referring to, a guy called King Michael, who has like,
hey, that's me,
a nice YouTube channel with like 50k plus subscribers.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Necros is cheating based on a clip. And don't get me wrong, I'm not denying that this clip actually looks suspicious and fishy, but I think it is possible to happen with Necros' playstyle, because I've been watching him for a long time, and based on the clips I'm gonna show you here.
So he's got a lot of experience with Necro watching his stream, but this also could mean he's biased and as a fan. That's just so fast, dude.
It is actually explainable, like Jane explained it in this clip I'm gonna show you.
The way that Necros moves his mouse is always very fast to a new location, stops, to a new location, to a new location, to a new location. His mouse doesn't float around even when he's normally aiming.
These are really slow
he goes
movements
in very
compared to that one,
discreet
though.
and quick movements.
They're not as quick as the
To a new location.
Pharah one, not at all.
To a new location.
And not nearly as accurate either, at all.
And then to a new location.
That was the fastest by far.
That's his aiming style. The last one was extremely fast, but if you do have this style, you know, if you play the game for how many hours on stream, one of your really ridiculous 180 flicks is going to land on a target eventually. And you're going to look like this. So there's enough things going on here that makes me think that this could be legit.
Ah, he said that it could be legit.
Cherry pick one clip out of hours of footage, I think it's a possibility that he's legit.
Well, there's definitely other clips that are fishy. That's why he was accused of cheating in the first place.
Like what I was aiming like
What's
down
this?
at a Reinhardt like this.
Well, we'll pause real quick and talk. So the thing is, he acknowledged it himself. That flick over to Pharah was way faster than any of those other movements he was making. Way faster and way more accurate. That's why it's so suspicious. It doesn't look like any of his other gameplay, which his other gameplay is fast, but nothing like that, guys. And that's why we all thought it was cheating. Plus, there are also other clips out there that do look a little suspicious. This one was just beyond suspicious.
And then I immediately click like up.
Oh, I think this is
it was like
Necros.
a little bit lucky as well, but I can do that. I can reproduce it. Like,
I mean, like, anybody could reproduce that, though.
I mean, not
like,
perfectly, of course, but
This means nothing, though.
you know, I can do it really fast. That's my sensitivity.
And this really doesn't prove anything. All he's doing is flicking his mouse behind, like...
Like Jane said, sure. Take a look. Here you go.
This also proves nothing.
Here you go, my processes.
Because unless...
I'm gonna go slowly.
This proves nothing, because unless he does what he did to that Pharah again, while showing us that there's no processes running that are fishy, that's the only way to clear his name here. Other than that, he is going to be under suspicion still by everybody.
Okay. Flip this.
Like, I'm not gonna sit here and look through all these. I'm sure somebody else already did that.
Flip that.
Also, probably.
Yeah, that proves nothing there. We need to see him. We need to see him after doing that go and do the things he did to that Pharah. So
I actually played in some tournaments in Croatia, and
this isn't
I
pro
have
play.
a video from the actual company he played.
I read some comments on my YouTube channel saying that he did play in some tournaments. Dude, they're like little small tournaments in Croatia, nothing big, no big names, no big teams. These do not count.
He was on stage.
Also, there's also like no actual gameplay of him playing. I haven't seen any. So if you can show me gameplay of him playing on LAN, doing those flicks onto Pharah, then okay. But you can't say, he played in these random tournaments. These tournaments mean nothing.
And he's still
Let me see some high-level tournaments.
In the grand finals. So, I don't really think he needs a script to be that good. He's just that good.
Also, hey, something to point out. I never said that Necros without scripting or aim locking isn't good. Obviously, when you have that many hours on a certain hero in Overwatch, you're going to be good at it. Seriously, the guy has over, 2,000, 3,000, maybe more. Of course, he's going to know the hero ins and out, and he's going to be great at it. But the thing he did with Pharah was unnatural, as I said.
Good.
That has nothing to do with skill.
Okay, to end up the video, I decided to show you some of his today's clips from his stream with his mouse cam. And you can see how much he moves his hands. And that does not look fishy to me.
Alright, let's see it.
You guys decide.
Yeah. Are you gonna dash up or just...
Yeah, I'll dash up.
Okay.
Okay, be ready. Let's go now, okay?
Winston. I need help.
Ano what? Wait lang yan. Haba rin, please.
You alright?
I'm dead.
Lucio 1?
I mean,
Wait lang yan.
Winston.
let's watch this again. Can we slow this down? Let's see the slow-mos. Speed. Let's put this in 0.25 speed. So we can really watch this. And we are going to mute that for now. Alright, let's see it. So he looks down, he sees everybody. Also, a big thing about that Pharah clip is he didn't know that Pharah was there. And that's obvious, so he needs to reproduce what he did. He needs to be able to reproduce what he did in that clip. And he didn't reproduce it there at all, so let's go ahead and move on to the next clip, I guess. This is just him killing a diva. What's this one? Shooting shurikens, gonna jump up, shooting some more. He's definitely a good Genji. There's no denying that, even without aim lock if he uses it or not. That was a slow movement. Let's watch these in real time, these movements. Because they look so much slower than that Pharah movement. There we go. Like, that was super slow and very inaccurate. That Widow one was a little fast, but it was nothing like the Pharah one. Like, that's such a slow movement. Those aren't that fast. His dashes aren't accurate either. It's not like like that dash on the Pharah, like his crosshair went right on her. His crosshair isn't going on these people at all. It just shows that, yeah, he can still control his sensitivity and still blade. This proves nothing. Just like I have no actual proof that he's cheating, this is no actual proof that he isn't cheating. Let's see this one. I mean, that was nothing special at all. This is just a normal blade on people that just got out of a grab. He didn't even like really dash and flick here. Like, he had one dash right there. That was it. Like, that proves nothing. All right, let's see what he has to say.
Towards Michael or anything, but guys, to clarify.
You can do it when he's in the game, I guess.
Like, I press tab and...
Also, guys, to clarify things up, I do not have any hate towards Michael or anything. I'm gonna put his video in the description so you can see it for yourself. I really like the guy, but I think he made a mistake. So please, I do not want to see any hate comments for Michael or for Necros or for me. I mean, you can keep the ones for me, I don't care, but...
Alright, so the thing about this guy is, he does seem cool, he seems nice. Obviously, he is a little biased here. He's a Necros viewer, possibly, you know, active in the chat, who knows. But he was pretty fair in the video by saying it does look suspicious. But then also the clips he showed, they were nowhere near the caliber of that one we saw on Pharah. And also they were nothing like even some of the other highlights we've seen. I do appreciate him saying that give no hate to anybody. And honestly, like, I don't want any hate for anyone as well. No hating on Necros. If he's aim locking, Blizzard will find it out. They will ban him. That's not, you know, hate him. Also, don't hate this guy. And yeah, I mean, I think that's the video.
You don't really have to watch this, but I'm just gonna show you that when I used to be in Plat and I used to play with a crazy highly sensitive...
One of his clips.
Good job, Genji. Nice. Oh my god.
To be like that can happen.
I mean, that's nothing like the Pharah thing, but... Alright. Good video, man. Wait. Oh, okay. I see. Alright, so this guy definitely is a big fan. As you can see, he has uploaded montages of Necros before in the past. Necros is number 4, so... I can see. Alright.
I try to go on them before they go in.
Not saying the guy is super biased, but he's definitely a little biased here. But anyways, guys, that's my opinion on this whole thing. Let me know down below what you guys think. And thank you for watching. Drop a like, subscribe for more daily content, and I'm out of here.